When the man transformed into a delicate girl for the first time, it stunned all the enemies present. This was because the girl he transformed into was the most noble princess among the vampires. As vampires and humans were mortal enemies, the fact that Obo turned into the most noble princess among vampires was inconceivable. However, the girl didn't bother contemplating these demonic matters. She swiftly leaped into action, wielding a large scythe, and charged towards the troll clan. The trolls were caught off guard by Jibai's rapid and ruthless strikes with the scythe. Jibai continuously swung the scythe, mercilessly harvesting the lives of these trolls. The trolls had initially thought it would be a piece of cake to breach the human city and engage in looting and burning. However, they never anticipated losing their lives here. Jibai finished harvesting the trolls and turned her attention to the only human knight left on the battlefield. The human knight, recognizing Jibai's vampire lineage, raised his sword despite Jibai having saved him a moment ago. Even though you saved me just now, you too cannot cross the city walls unless you step over my dead body, the knight declared. Jibai intended to remind the knight that something unusual was happening in this place, as they had been fighting for so long without any reinforcements. There might be a traitor within the city. That communication under the current circumstances was impossible. The only option was to use magic to send the knight into the city. Suddenly, a strong wind blew across the battlefield, and another vampire girl arrived. This girl stared at Jibai, holding blood domain bats and the ancient Kutmara. "You must be the crown princess Lilias mentioned by Gim just now," she said. However, Jibai did not respond. Instead, she raised her scythe and swung it fiercely. "Don't mention that cruel woman in front of me. Even if you're of the same lineage, I will eliminate you," Jibai declared. After uttering these words, Jibai realized that her magic had already been depleted. Her consciousness gradually blurred, and she collapsed. Fortunately, she was caught by the vampire girl, Xiaoling. Xiaoling knew that Jibai urgently needed to replenish her energy, and for vampires, human blood was the best choice. So, Xiaoling looked at the human corpses on the battlefield. However, Jibai was unwilling to use these warriors to sacrifice their lives for their families. She respected these people and couldn't defile them. In such a situation, Xiaoling said, "If your highness doesn't mind, I am willing to dedicate myself as nourishment for you." Jibai, who had never encountered such a situation, quickly retreated, telling Xiaoling that her body was temporarily weak and she just needed some rest. While Xiaoling was about to say something more, the battlefield experienced a third wave of arrivals. It turned out to be the four-eyed mentor and the degraded ancestor. These two individuals brought fresh blood to thank Jibai for saving the cat girl and invited her to cooperate in driving the troll clan out of the city. Confused, Jibai asked, "Why didn't you seek the city's paladins and instead came to find me?" The four-eyed mentor responded, "You probably sensed it too. We've been fighting in this city for so long and haven't seen a single paladin. There's obviously a problem."